So you just got a brand new multicolor 3D printer and it poops. I'm going to teach you today how to reduce that waste using something called a purge object. A purge object, much like the name suggests, is just a print that you purge into. So some of what would have been pooped out the back of that printer instead goes into a print, and then you reduce the waste in that way. I like to use these fidget stars or infinity cubes, but it can be anything. And the process is likely much easier than you think, and it can be done whether you're using a bamboo or a flash forge or a Creality. Most of those slicers run off of the same basis, so it's very, very simple. Let's get to it.
Okay, so I've got you pulled over here in the Bamboo Studio and have a multicolor print loaded up and pre-sliced. So at first glance, we're starting at around 71.6 grams of waste. I'm going to try to put this somewhere over here so we can remember that. An easy way to reduce the waste would be to go over here to your flushing volumes, and you can safely get around 0.9, maybe 0.8. For this example, we'll go to 0.9. That's usually where I print at. So we'll give this another slice. And doing that alone will take us down to 64.5 grams. So we're already down quite a bit on the flushed amounts. Our total is 192. I want you to remember that as well. We'll get back to that. So to make a purge object, you bring in something like this is the infinity cube that I showed you earlier. Now, all you have to do is right click this, go down here to your flush options, and you can flush into this object's infill and flush into this object. Reslice it. And you can find these for free in a lot of places like Thingiverse or Printables or MakerWorld, anywhere. So now we're down to 46.5 grams. Our total print is 201 grams. So we're down from the 70 something we had in the beginning to 46.5 already. Now, usually this is good enough, but you could duplicate it or add in another one like this fidget star here. We were at 201 grams. That's why I like to go ahead and mention that. The last one was at 201. So we're going to flush into this again, and it's going to reduce the waste a little more, but it might increase the total volume because we might not have enough flush for two objects to make it really worthwhile. So now we're down to 33 grams of flushed filament, right? But we're also up to 217. So by doing this, we've reduced the flush even more, but we've increased our total print 10 grams. Now, if this is worth it to you, excuse me, by all means, then you're pretty set. You've halved or more your total waste just by adding in these two objects. You're maybe spending a little bit more, but you've got two extra prints now. Excuse me. I'm getting over something. What I like to do is just the one. It's usually fine. So with one infinity cube in, you're at, what did I say, 201 total used grams. Yeah, 201 total used grams, 46.5. So you could take that flush, add a little bit of regular print material, break even with two. But one is down to 46 grams of waste, total 201. That's usually good enough for me. Now, if it's a little bit bigger, it might be better to just use the one star. It might be a little bigger. Let's try that. So our flush options are set. Let's give that a slice. And so with just the star, we're at 44,201. So it's about the same. The star doesn't seem to get as many cool colors, which, is a benefit. So I'm going to stick with the infinity cube. And just to show that across different slicers, this is the same. I've got the same thing pulled up over here on my Flash Forge slicer. I'm pretty sure most multicolors run around Orca Slicer or Bamboo Studio. So in the same setting here, you'll click your object, right click, flush options, same settings. It's absolutely very easy, and it's a way to get an extra print out of your material, especially if you're running a business like I do. Anytime that I can take waste and turn it into an extra print is beneficial to me. So to recap, with just a standard printed plate, you're going to waste 64 grams of filament. You're going to be spending 192. And with one flush object, one purge objects, you're going to be flushing 46 grams of filament, and you're up to 201. So you're still spending a little more filament to do this, but not as much as you're saving by flushing into this infinity cube here. And this can be anything, again. So even if you just want to make, you know, a little willy-nilly of the same print and use it as a flush, you can get the exact same print and just flush into it instead. It can be anything as long as it lines up with the print that you're using. So for these Umbreons, they're only like, you know, 30, 40 millimeters tall. If I print something that's 60 millimeters tall, the flush is only going to benefit me in the flush area. So you're getting a similar result, not as good, not as neat. You know, it's not as useful to have a multicolor one of these that doesn't make any sense, but it can be anything. Anything as long as you're operating within the area that you're flushing. So if you're printing something tall and you can find another file that's tall to flush into, you're still going to get that benefit. Hopefully this has helped. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit my first YouTube plaque this year. That is my goal. I want to do more here on YouTube. I want to do more long form for you guys, and I want to get my first plaque. That is my 2026 goal. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helped, and make sure to subscribe for more.